Hey, good morning. Welcome to the 10X Automotive Weekly. My name is Jeff Bounds, and I'm the head of automotive with Grant Cardone. Super excited to be with you guys today. We have a lot of buzz going on down here in Miami. We got the Super Bowl going on in 2 days. So, want to know who you guys got, man. Do you have Kansas City or do you have the other guys? Because I'm telling you right now, I don't think San Francisco's got a chance in this game. I think Mahomes is going to go crazy. So hit me in the comments and let me know who you have in the game. Should be pretty exciting. We got a ton of things happening here at 10X headquarters. We're super excited to be rolling out a new training platform that's never been done before in the automotive industry. It's a 3-step process that's going to change the game and help everybody get to the next level and skill up their game. So we got NADA coming up in Las Vegas, February 15th to 17th. So this is going to be amazing. So for all my automotive friends out there watching the show that are going to be attending, make sure you come by our booth. It's booth number 4083C. And you can enter to win, actually, the opportunity to meet Grant, Kevin Hart, and Magic Johnson, which would be an amazing opportunity. And in addition to that, you can also win a free month of the 3-step process, which is going to include our virtual training platform, Cardone On Demand. It's going to include some coaching sessions with our automotive professionals and an on-site needs assessment to sit down with you guys and find out how we can take you to the next level. So you can visit us at grantcardone.com/NADA 2020. Make sure you register. I want to make sure you guys have the opportunity to win this experience. It's going to be pretty incredible. So what we're going to talk about today, this is actually going to be a 2-part series, the art of the deal structure. Without a doubt, as Grant would say, this is the Mac Daddy of steps. Because look, man, you can't sell anybody if you don't write them up. So we got to learn how to make it an intention to write up every single person that walks into the dealership to give yourself the opportunity, to earn their business. So look, no write-up, no sale. So we got to figure out how to do it. But the reality is, when you talk about, the deal structure, you talk about the write-up, it's not what's actually happening in that moment. It's what happened from the moment that you say hello. You got to set the intention correctly. You got to be willing to offer information to the customer and ask the right questions. So if you look about what we've talked about in the past couple weeks, we've talked about, the proper fact finding, asking the right questions, the proper greeting and everything else. So now we're tying it all together to get to that end result, to get the actual write-up to get yourself closer to a deal. So there's many important things that play the part. Like I was mentioning, you can't skip steps. Customer comes in, I want your best price on this car. I totally understand. I knew you wanted the best price before you came in here. Follow me. Let's find the right vehicle for you. I guarantee you that we're going to get you the best price in the marketplace. So you're going to make sure that you're isolating that. You're going to go into total agreement and not skip the steps. Not get them to speed you up. Because sometimes you got to slow down to speed up. You got to make sure you're taking control back of the interaction. Ask the right questions, because if you don't ask the right questions and you skip the steps, you don't do the proper test drive, you're not asking the right trial closes, you're just shooting in the breeze, man. You're not going to know how to structure that write-up in a way that's going to get the customer's attention. Why the write-up? Why, when people come in and they say, hey, I'm just looking today, I don't have time, I got to go. Hey, I totally understand. I know your time is valuable. Just come with me. Some information I want to show you. I know you're not buying today, but this is going to give you some information to give you an idea of what it'll look like. Sit them down at the desk. People, here's something I want you guys to focus on. People believe what they see, not what they hear. So if you're sitting there telling them all these different type of things, we got the best deal in town, we got a tent sale this weekend, we're the largest volume dealer, sit them down, write them up, put some information in front of them, go with information overload, show them a lease, show them a buy, show them a one pay, whatever you got to show them. Give them a lot of information, man, to get them moving around into the deal, to get them something that's going to catch their attention, to catch that hook, to know how to get them and move them forward to the next level. So, look, this is crazy. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to have this show today. Industry statistics show that 67% of people that walk into your showrooms are not being written up. That is crazy to me, especially in 2020 when the customer knows 9 times out of 10 more information than you do about the deals that are going on, about the vehicle and everything else. I mean, it used to be, yeah, you could, give them a number. We used to put them on a rocket, give them a lowball number and they would come back to you. You just don't have those opportunities anymore because there's too much information out there. There's too many things you can do over the internet. So if these people do come into your dealership, they're coming in for a reason. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I moved down here to Miami, I couldn't get over how long it takes just to go 5 or 6 miles. It could take 25, 30 minutes. I lived in LA, it's the same thing. The DC area, same thing. The traffic keeps getting to be more and more. So time is valuable and people are not going to sit in the car for 3 or 4 hours a day to go from dealership to dealership to dealership to dealership. So let me clue you in on something. If they show up, there is a level of interest why they are there. You need to write them up. You need to go through the steps to make sure you have the opportunity to put yourself in the best position to do a deal. So 67%, so that means only 33% of people are being written up. So we got to adjust that number. At your store today, if you're one of the dealerships that watches me every single Friday at 10 a.m., I know I got my guys from team out there. I know you guys are watching me. I know Ken Garf. Hey, Sam, how you doing, man? I know you guys are watching us. So make it an intention in your store. Look, man, this is the last day of the month, man. We're moving into February. So go into the weekend strong. Make sure you're writing everybody, and I promise you, you're going to start seeing more opportunities. So why don't we write people up? That's the million-dollar question. It's 4 letters of why we don't do it. Fear. You're afraid to write people up because you're afraid they're going to shop you. Well, look, they're going to shop you anyway. I mean, if a person's intention is to shop, I mean, whether you give them numbers or you don't give them numbers, you got a better opportunity of getting their business if you do give them something because they're going to go to the next dealer and they're going to, run into somebody that's going to give them the numbers. And then they're not going to call you back. You don't have that, advantage of making sure you set the proper intention, you gave them information, you gave them a proper test drive, you're interested in getting them the best deal, and you lay it out there on them, man. And I promise you, you can't be afraid of it because look, in life, your success is directly proportional to your willingness to fail. So I'm going to say that again. In life, your success is directly proportional to your willingness to fail. Look, you can't move forward if you're not taking the chances, right? You got to go all in. You got to burn the ships. You got to be ready to get in front of somebody and give it your all to give them that opportunity because you may never see them again. So take the opportunity when they're in the dealership to write them up and get to the deal. So in talking about fears, the biggest fears, first and foremost, it's a fear of wasting time because you want to look for another up. And this always blew my mind because look, on the weekend, I get it. Maybe you got a lot of traffic, but still it's like you want to sink your teeth in. You want to pay the proper attention to the customer. But look, it's even during the week. It could be like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the dealership. You could throw a grenade in the showroom and nobody would get hit because there's nothing happening there. You got somebody that walks in, man, you got to dig in and go all in with him. Do whatever it takes. I want to get a brochure. I totally understand you want to get a brochure. Here's a brochure. Let me show you the vehicle in person. Let me walk you through it. Let me give you a test drive. You know what? While you're here, let me get you figures on your car. Make sure you get them whatever they need because the chances say they go to another dealership, they're not going to get that level of service. You know what they're going to do? Hey, no problem. Here's a brochure. Here's my card. Thank you. And they're not taking a chance. It's no different than they say, hey, you walk in the door. Hey, how can I help you? I'm just looking. Great. You looking for yourself? You looking for someone else? How can I help you? What exactly are you looking for? I'd be more than happy to help you look. Most people don't buy the first day. Take the pressure off from the customer. Get them to move forward. And I promise you, it's going to get you closer to getting to that area of writing up more people. A lot of times, too, it's like, they say, hey, I don't have time today. I just want a brochure. I want to take a look at the car. I got time for a quick test drive. Then I got to get back to the office. You're afraid of the confrontation that you're going to have by asking them to go to the write-up. So you're not going to say, hey, go back to my desk so I can write you up. You're just going to say, hey, follow me. I got some information that you need to see here. We got some programs running from now until the end of the month. They're unbelievable. I just want to make sure you have this information. I just want to make sure that you don't miss out on a great opportunity because these deals are just for a limited time. So just follow me. Let me show you what I have here. And then sit them down. I mean, people want information. People want to be given information. That's why people come into your dealership. That's why people call you on the phone. They want information. Grant launched information-based selling 25 years ago, and the automotive industry thought he was crazy, right? Because, oh, we can't give them information, we just give them a little bit to get them to come back. Now, more than ever, you got to give them information for them to make a decision, right? So the other thing that we just talked about a few minutes ago, the number 3 fear of why you're not writing people up is you're afraid they're going to shop you. You got to get over that, man. You can't be afraid they're going to shop. They're going to shop you anyway. I mean, I've had clients that have, purchased a couple vehicles for me. They come in and buy the car, but they're like, hey, Jeff, I got to keep you honest, bro. I had to shop you with a couple other dealers, but why are they buying the car from me? I mean, even if I was a little more expensive, they're buying the service. They're buying the relationship. They're buying the comfort of dealing with somebody that makes them feel good when they're in the dealership. So you just got to keep all these things in mind and get over that. So every single time you got to present a proposal, you got to show them information so they have something to have a baseline of how to make a decision, because otherwise they're going to assume, oh, you know what? Perfect example. When I was in Los Angeles, I worked at some dealerships in Beverly Hills. Everybody that came to see us just assumed when they walked into the dealership, we were going to be more expensive because where we were located. So we had to overcome that right away. So we had some dealers in Santa Monica. We had some dealers in Thousand Oaks. We had some dealers in downtown Los Angeles. A lot of people wouldn't even come to us because they assumed they weren't going to get a deal because of our location. So we had to go out in front and say, hey, you know what? We got a large inventory here. We got a lot of opportunity here, to make the best deal for the customer. Just because we're here doesn't mean that we're not going to give you the best deal. We guarantee you're going to get the best deal in Los Angeles. And we started getting more people to come in and create that comfort level. Because what we found is a lot of people would service their vehicle with us because either they office close to our location or they live there, but they were buying in like South Bay, Thousand Oaks, Santa Monica, one of these other areas because they just thought we were too expensive. They didn't even give us a shot at it. So it's like you got to make that right out of the gates, because somebody's going to say, hey, I want the best price. You guys get that every single day. I understand you want the best price. Our intention is to make sure you get the best price. We've never lost a deal over price. Just take it and handle it. Get it away. Get them out, looking at the right vehicle, make sure on the proper trim level, make sure you're doing the test drive, get them excited. And when you sit down, then you go into the presentation, but you do it in a way that it's going to give them a very clear-cut vision of what they're looking at. So I mentioned to you this is going to be a 2-part deal. Next week, we're going to have an actual session where you guys can call in. We can talk about some of the deals that you're running up against, and I'm going to have a partner of mine here that works here at Cardone Automotive Resources. He's been in the industry for 25 years, done a lot of training around deal structuring, sales process, everything else. He's going to actually be here. We got a whiteboard, like a little, it's like a Google board. We're going to do some deal structures. We're going to show you how to structure it out. I think that'd be really helpful for you guys. And again, call in, tell us where you're stuck, and we'd be more than happy to walk you through that. So, why is this so important? Why am I going to spend 2 weeks talking about this? Why am I so passionate about this? Because the bottom line is you can't sell who you don't write up. Simple as that, right? And what's the worst thing that can happen? Seriously, they go buy somewhere else. Well, you could experience that anyway, right? So you just got to get over the hump, start writing people up, start giving them information on where they need to be. And I'll tell you another thing too. One of the reasons that you don't feel comfortable is because you don't feel confident on what to say and what to do. So I know some of you have had the opportunity to come down here at 10X headquarters and attend our 10X Automotive Academy, but we're going to have another one of these coming up in March. So guys, if you could throw that up on the screen so everybody can see it here. So March 19th, we are going to have another 10X Automotive Academy here at our offices in Miami. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be a full day of everything of how to get you where you are today to the next level. We're going to cover every step of the sale. We're going to show you how to close better. We're going to show you how to overcome objections. We're going to hit every one of those points on March 19th. So if you are a current Cardone On Demand subscriber, corporate, through your dealership, we're going to give you 2 free tickets to attend. If you're not on our platform and you just want to better yourself, you can come for $19.95. So that's one of the workshops that we have. Now, what we've developed that's really amazing is now we've created a whole series of workshops So if your dealer principal wants to, invest in you guys to get you to the next level, we have the academy. We have a secrets to closing the sale workshop, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a few minutes here. That's going to happen in April. Everybody wants to learn how to close the sale. Everybody know that Grant is the king of the close. And then we also have another one on mastering objections and how to handle the phones. So whatever you guys need help, whatever you have your attention on, we are fully here to help. And let me tell you, the best way to learn is when you're in a situation where you can role play, when you have practical application. We'll even call your customers for you. So definitely check that out. So you got to stop making excuses, right? You got to get your mind right. You got to stop saying they're not buying today. They're buried in their trade. We can't get them approved. They can't afford this. The spouse isn't here. They don't have time. The trade's not here. These are all garbage, man, because your mindset is what sets your intention for everything else that happens in the deal. How many times have you gone and upped somebody on the lot, nobody wanted to talk to him, oh, this guy's not buying today, and the guy bought the car from you? How many times have you had somebody come in and say, hey, you know what, Jeff, I'm not buying today, and then they're delivering their car like, I can't believe I'm actually buying the car, right? How many people says, hey, I got to check a couple dealers, you started negotiating with them with the second pencil, third pencil, they're buying the car. They are there to buy, but you can't get them to do that if you're not willing to write them up. So here's 4 key tips that can help you change the game here. So first and foremost, you got to be consistent. You have to be consistent to make the intention that every single time they come in, you're going to follow the steps of the sale, you're going to ask the right questions, you're going to sit them down, and you're going to write them up. Consistency builds greatness. So you have to do this every single time. You just can't be selective. You got to get locked into your mind that you're going to write them up. You got to be positive. You got to be upbeat. You got to be prepared. People want to buy from those that have a good attitude, people that are excited, people that are going to stand behind their brand and say, this is the best car. So you got to have the mindset where when the customer walks in, if they don't take that car home today, you're doing them a disservice by not, pushing them to move forward in the sale because you had the best car on the planet. Why? Because that's going to come out in your emotion. That's going to come out in your delivery and everything else. Because if you don't fully buy in to what you're selling, it's going to come across to the customer. You got to ask the right questions. I mean, if you don't ask the customer the right questions, you can be going down a totally different rabbit hole. So I think they had said that like at least 60 to 70% of the time, if the customer walks in to ask about a specific vehicle, they leave with a whole different model or, trim line or whatever. So ask those right questions, get them engaged, get them to get landed on a specific model, what they want, what's their needs, get them to buy into it emotionally, because people are going to make a decision on emotion, they're going to justify it with logic. But if they're bought into like, this is going to make a difference for me, I got to have this equipment, I'm going to feel myself driving this car or truck, SUV, and it's going to be a better situation for me, they're going to bump in payment. But if you get hooked into the price objection, that I'm telling you right now, man, you're going nowhere and you're going to continue to get minis. And what my intention is for you guys is to get off and away from the minis. The reason you're getting minis is because you're getting locked into the price objection and you're not getting the customer to pivot and get them into looking at the vehicle, go into full agreement. Make it an intention that today, going into the weekend, going into February, always agree with the customer. Whatever they say, go into agreement. Don't battle with them, right? Don't make it confrontational because they're just going to freeze up and they're going to prevent you from going forward. So overcoming objections, very important. Probably the most important thing than anything else. If you can't overcome the objections, you are going to get slowed down in the process. And those objections start from the moment you say hello. Those objections start when they don't want to test drive the car. Those objections start when they don't want to do the write-up. Those objections start when they don't want to give you their contact information. Are you fully prepared to overcome those objections? And you got to have a multitude of different ways where you can do that, not just one way. So we have a Mastering the Objections workshop that we're having here. So I strongly recommend you to check that out. Those of you that are on our Cardone On Demand platform, we have probably the best material on overcoming objections that you already have access to. So I strongly recommend you to watch that and get used to and be able to predict when these objections are going to happen so you can move through the process. So here's some objections that what I want you guys to work on between today and next week, I want you to find 3 or 4 ways that you can overcome these objections. And if anybody really wants to enhance their game, they want to get better, email me at jeff@grantcardone.com. Give me the answers to these objections, and I'd be more than happy to give you some advice and give you some guidance around some other ones that you can use. The first objection, we've all heard this: I'm not buying today. How are you going to overcome that? What are you going to do? What are going to be the 3 steps that you're going to be able to handle that objection? Number 2, well, I'm not buying until, I talk to my spouse, I talk to my business partner, it's a corporate lease, I got to shop 10 stores, whatever. How are you going to handle that? How are you going to handle those objections? I need my spouse, I need my business partner. My trade is not with me. Great, sir, I totally understand your trade is not with you. Let me just give you some preliminary figures on what it would be like for your trade. Let me ask you this question. Other than the fact that your trade isn't here, that wouldn't stop you from buying the car today, would it? Because you're going from a smoke screen, you're going from a complaint and isolating the true objection. That's when you become a master. When you realize that most objections are complaints, you need to handle them as that and move them off and be able to move forward in the situation. And then the other one, I don't have enough time. Whether it's in the car industry, whether I was calling on car dealers, hey, I got 5 minutes for you. Great. Awesome. 5 minutes is plenty of time. I could probably get it done in 4. And just start going into the flow because you're going into agreement. Most people are going to say, well, I need at least 30 minutes. I need an hour of your time. I need 20. Dude, just go into agreement and move forward. And you'll be amazed of how much farther you're going to go in the process because you did go into agreement. I just want the bottom line. Exactly, sir. That's why I want to write you up and give you the opportunity to see every situation that we have here. I'm going to give you the bottom line. I'm going to give you a lease payment. I'm going to give you finance. I'm going to give you a one pay. I'm going to let you know how much your car is worth. I'm going to give you everything you need. Follow me. Follow them. Take them back to the desk. Start writing out a deal. Start working it out. Assume the close. When you're trial closing them on the test drive, and you say, hey, man, you enjoy the car. Can you see yourself driving this? Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Well, you know what, though? It's like, I'm ready to buy today. I got to shop around. Say, I totally understand you got to shop around, but let me ask you this question. Other than the fact that you have to shop around and other than the fact you got to get the best price, is there anything else that would prevent you from taking the car home today? When you can get that kind of confidence and you can give that and push it towards the customer, you're going to get yourself to the next level. So look, here's the deal. I strongly, strongly recommend you. Guys, can you throw up the secrets of closing the sale on the screen here? This is the first time this has ever been done live. Grant Cardone, the king of the close. This guy literally is the best of the best in closing the deal. Started off in automotive. So again, for all my automotive friends on here, you got to come down April 20th, 10X headquarters. Here's what I'm going to throw out to you. If you're interested in this, if you email Anna, A-N-N-A, at grantcardone.com, the first 20 people that sign up, I will get you an autographed, personalized copy of the Closer's Survival Guide that I'll throw in with this program. You're going to get an unbelievable amount of information here. You're going to get a rebuttal manual. You're going to get 120 closes. Grant will probably pop in and say hi to everybody. We're going to have everybody here in our automotive team that's had over 25 years of experience that have been in this content for a long time, be able to role play with you guys. Again, when we had this phone workshop and we went through that, the role play, the interaction, people are going back, they're selling another 3, 4, 5 cars. They have the confidence, they have the swagger, they have everything they need to be successful. But that starts by making the commitment to come down here. Talk to your GM. If your GM doesn't want to pay, get out a credit card. It's $19.95. Here's the question I had to challenge you with. In 2019, right? So we're a month in on 2020, but 2019. How many deals did you not close and how much did that cost you? I guarantee you it's more than $1,995. It probably cost you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Not just that, but your confidence and your intention in moving forward. So be willing to bet on yourself. Email Anna at grantcardone.com. We'll get you signed up and we'll love to see you in Miami during the workshop. So really appreciate your time today. We look forward to next week. So remember, put all your deals together that you lost the deal, that you're struggling on how you're going to structure them, and we're going to have a live workshop for you guys to call in. We're going to be structuring deals with you next Friday at 10 a.m. My name's Jeff Bounds, and I appreciate you guys jumping on 10X Weekly. Have a great one.